Hey everybody, welcome back to the Turnbuckle Tavern's YouTube page. Today we're coming at you with a video about Jon Moxley being open to co-promotions. And before we get into the video, make sure you guys click on the link in the description below. Make sure to subscribe to this YouTube page. Make sure to click the bell for notifications in the link below. That'll take you to our social media pages, our Instagram, our Twitter. It'll take you to the podcast page where you can rate, subscribe, and review. And it'll also take you to our pro wrestling tees where you can pick up some of our sweet t-shirts.
Fucking nailed it.
Yep. So the next question, not really a question. Mox is open to co-promotion.
Yeah, and for the people that don't know what that means, he pretty much came out and said working with NWA, working with New Japan, working with Impact, ROH, he's open to all of that.
Good.
Yeah, good.
Good, because that's the way. That's if you want to keep it exciting, open all the doors.
Yeah, because WWE doesn't do that. So that's a thing. You know, if you want to compete against a gigantic corporation like WWE and do things that they don't, that's a way to do it. And to have your world champion open to that possibility, that's a huge feather in your cap.
Yeah.
You know, we obviously saw them work with NWA,
which was awesome. You know, they brought in Jeff Cobb, who Jeff Cobb's contract kind of allowed him to float a little bit, but he also he was working with ROH and New Japan, and he showed up on AEW. So they were open to that. They just brought in Matt Sydal, who we don't know if that's going to be a permanent thing or not, but they brought him in. He's been everywhere. So it's one of those things. And to hear, you know, your world champion, Jon Moxley, who has a lot of weight and pull to him in that company, come out and pretty much say, I mean, he had a quote where he was asked in the media scrum about co-promoting, you know, working with the idea of working with other companies. And he was like, you know, I love that idea of working with the NWA, of working with any other company. I think it would be cool, man, if all of these, like Ring of Honor, Impact, New Japan, had more talent trading back and forth. And he went on to talk specifically about New Japan. And he was like, I'm not shy about the fact I wish we had some type of agreement with New Japan. He's obviously still a part of that roster. He thinks there's a lot of benefits to it. He's like, I'm not saying we're obviously different companies with different products and different business plans, so it's not like we got to be married at the hip or anything. But, you know, maybe a New Japan guy pops up here or there, or maybe some of our young AEW guys go over there and do a Super Junior tournament to gain some experience. I think that'd be great for everybody, so I'm all about that. He says, I'll take this belt anywhere they want me to take it. So, to me, like, obviously you think co-promotion, you're thinking of these guys showing up from Impact and NWA and New Japan showing up in AEW, but I do like what Jon is saying. Yeah.
How a lot of these younger talents, like, you know, Darby or, you know, Private Party, what if they go to New Japan and participate in one of these G1 tournaments?
Yeah.
It's good for them. They're going to be working with world-class athletes. And maybe for guys like that aren't featured, which Darby's featured, but I'm thinking more of like Private Parties and stuff like that. You know, they have good featured spots on AEW Dynamite, but where the roster is so filled out now, if you have a younger guy who's not maybe in a pay-per-view based storyline, you send him to New Japan for a month. And that gives your business exposure to that fan base. I think it's a win-win for everyone involved.
It is. I mean, I think that, and here's one thing that I'd like to see too. I want to see, if we're going to do the co-promotion thing, I want to see one of their people take one of the belts.
Absolutely.
That's what I want to see. I want to see somebody, we're fantasy booking here, so let's see somebody from New Japan beat Mox and take the title to New Japan.
Yeah, that's getting back to almost the old territory days.
Right.
When the champions would float between these territories and bring the belt with them. And that just gained eyes for that promotion, like, oh shit, this is their champion. Like, let me go check out what they're doing, because I like this guy.
Right.
You know? And for Tony Khan, obviously showing that he's also open to this, you know, he's got it seems like a pretty good working relationship with Billy Corgan at NWA. So, I mean, Tony Khan, even recently in the media scrum at All Out, came out and said he would love to have Thunder Rosa back.
Yeah.
And he needs to talk to Billy and see what Billy's open to doing. And so it's still on the table. You know, it's still on the table that AEW is going to be working with other companies. I would really like to see them partner up with New Japan, obviously, but also I think a company in America that really could benefit from it outside of NWA is Impact.
Yeah.
I mean, Impact has some really good young talent, so that would be something fun to see.
Yeah, I think they should just – I think opening the door – I just think it's a smart move. I think it's a smart move for every company. It gets eyes on everybody.
I agree.
I mean, for the person that wasn't watching Impact before, that was only watching AEW, now they're going to be tuning into both. So
it's going to help everybody, because
I think it's definitely – it's just smart business. Just smart business.
It helps every company, and it keeps you wondering, like, what the hell is going to happen next?
Yep.
You know, who's going to show up where? You know, when it's such a great possibility of getting those huge pops where you get a fan that's like, oh my God, that's Impact's champion. Then, well, I want to watch Impact to see if any of these guys so it you know, a rising tide raises all ships type of thing.
Yep. Yeah. So are you guys on board for a co-promotion thing, or do you think that it's detrimental to the business? What do you guys think? Start that conversation in the comments below, and we'll be back with you. Click the bell. You'll know when we're coming back.